Hey everybody, we're back and we want to talk about what the ketamine-assisted therapy experience is actually like. So basically what happens is you come into our office, we give you a heavy dose of ketamine, you blast off into the fifth dimension where you meet Jesus and your ancestors.
Oh my gosh. No.
And then you come back and you're better.
Or maybe.
That's kind of how it works, right? It's not
No.
like that at all.
It's not like that at all.
But I think a lot of people think that that's what it's like. We actually had people already interacting with some of our posts saying like, okay, I thought it was like I go into outer space and I'm going to lose myself. And there are psychedelic experiences like that, but that's generally not going to be the experience with someone trying a ketamine-assisted therapy route for the first time. So when someone is interested in ketamine-assisted therapy and reaches out to us, what's the first thing that happens?
Yeah, so the first thing that would happen is we would determine whether this client is just a good fit for us and we're a good fit for them, first of all. From there, they would get medically screened to make sure that they're appropriate for ketamine.
So we work with a prescriber and nurse practitioner who does a very thorough psychological and medical intake.
Correct.
Just to make sure that this is a good candidate for ketamine-assisted therapy and to make sure there's no interactions or contradictions with ketamine.
Correct. And once we get the clear from our prescriber, then we work with clients anywhere from 1 to however many sessions, kind of preparing them for their psychedelic experience.
Some people want to spend a lot of time in that sort of preparation stage. Some people kind of want to get right to it, and you know, if the situation is right, that's what we'll do. But some people want to spend 5, 6, a dozen sessions kind of talking through what they're experiencing and talking through the experience with ketamine before they get into it.
Yeah, I think it's really important in this field to realize there's not a one-size-fits-all. I know there are a lot of clinics out there that have standard protocols, and we operate really based on what our clients need.
Yep. So then they come in and strap into the rock and we blast them off, right? No? Dang it. When do we get to do that part? So once we both feel and the client feels that the preparation stage is complete, then we would move to a dosing session. And a dosing session is generally 2.5 hours long or so. We'd meet with the client and we would do some prep work that day as well. And then when we're all ready, we would do the dose of ketamine. Generally speaking, we start people on a very low dose of ketamine. This is not going to blast you off into the metaverse or anything like that. And what do people experience during that first time with ketamine?
Yeah, I mean, for every client, it's really different.
It's a unique experience for everyone. On a low dose of ketamine, where we start pretty much everyone, a lot of people will describe a dreamlike state, sort of a trance state. Most people in those first dosing sessions still can hold a conversation with the therapist while they're experiencing what they're experiencing. They can talk about what they're experiencing and what they're seeing, and we can gently ask questions. For much of that time, what we're doing is what you like to call holding space. What's holding space?
It means being just very present and attuned to the client. And so we are there for the client, with the client, for whatever comes up for the, during their session. It's really based on what the client needs, what the client wants, what their intention is going in. And then it's, for the therapist role, practitioner role, it's us just getting out of the way.
It really is getting out of the way. We're trying to ask some questions here and there, but really let people have their experience. And we're taking a lot of notes for people. We're writing down in a journal that we would then give them so that they can fill in more notes later. One of the things that people typically experience during a ketamine experience, going along with the dreamlike idea, is that as they come out of it, they have these fresh ideas, fresh insights, some perspectives on their life and on the problems that they're experiencing that they didn't have before, but they start to vanish like a dream fairly quickly. And so writing and journaling is a huge part of it. We start for them and then encourage them and give them some tools to continue to process their experience afterwards.
Correct.
So as the client is coming out of the influence of the ketamine, the peak experience of ketamine is right around 15 minutes usually. And then for the next 30 minutes, the client is sort of starting to come out of that, sort of awake from the dream. And we're starting to have more and more conversation and ask more questions about their experience and what they've seen and what they've experienced and what was challenging and what was uplifting, and start to kind of figure out where we're going to focus, and the rest of that what we call integration session, and then in sessions to follow as well.
Correct.
What's so interesting as well about a ketamine assisted experience is that the real work and healing start to happen after the session, actually. Because that's when we start to integrate and process the kind of experience that they've had. It's also when the effect of the ketamine, the antidepressant and anti-anxiety effects, begin to set in. And it kind of kicks off this period of neuroplasticity in your brain, where people describe it as having like a fresh coat of powder on your brain. So you can create some new ways of thinking, some new paths, some new habits. You can try on some new narratives and try to discard some of your old ones. There's so much more to say about ketamine-assisted therapy, and so we just invite you to get curious and ask us your questions and get in touch with us. We'd love to talk with you about any of this.
Yeah, we hope to keep providing helpful and inspiring content, and hope you all are well. Thank you.